Binary? Non-binary.
Non-binary.
Non-binary. Boo. Restart the stream. Hi, everybody. It's Mike J. Dark Sombrargy, and Mike, if you like, trying desperately to remember how he starts streaming. So it is Thursday, which means we are playing 5th edition. I hope you're joining us for another lovely round of Knights of the Ashen Empire. Tonight we will probably be burning things, if I'm going to guess. There's going to be some children in need of saving. And I think I'm not going to touch the tarot deck, even though I really want to. So y'all can decide who to... Oh, introduce yourselves in members-only order.
Where the fuck is that?
Discorder.
Okay. Hi, my name's Andrew Otway, and tonight I'll be reprising my role as Sinrathi Cobb. They have hope and power, and definitely I wasn't going to say my City of Mist character, who I can't remember the name of right now. Someone please take this away from me.
Jordan, save him.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Tonight I will be playing Vashla Stormforge, Dwarven Fighter, Eldritch Knight, Guardian of Sinrathi, and I just bid farewell to my goat last episode.
Goodbye, so long.
Auf Wiedersehen, farewell. Ooh, not a good assist. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'll be playing the part of Kaith Dustwake, the bird person ranger sans wings plus extra eyes plus sass minus give a fuck.
It's a strong
yeah, I can't do that math right now, sorry. I'm Adam playing Fritz, and I'm sure to be tiny and gruff yet another day.
That's the spirit.
Nice. I'm Zach. I am playing Yorha, the time-displaced sort of undead barbarian.
Sort of undead or sort of time displaced?
Sort of both.
Okay.
I really want to get you the majestic artifact now, the Sword of Both.
All right, so we pick up exactly where we left off, which is the I believe that Fritz was roughly interrogating a small child about the location of their toys.
Oh yeah.
I think we already did that. We did the toys. We found out they're dangerous. We fixed them, and we figured out that evil mercenaries were doing bad things with toys.
Mm-hmm.
But where were they getting the toys, or where did they find them? Where did they go?
They had
Where did they come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
the wandering little tinker dude that kept on popping in and giving them dangerous things.
Yeah. Okay. So we did close that loop out entirely, didn't we?
And they got not dangerous toys from Kaith.
And then I made better ones. I mean, yes, we all made better toys.
Yes.
I can run
Hopefully
faster than your pod racer.
Did you say pod racer?
What?
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 I thought you said pod racer.
Why would I say pod racer, Mike? We're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm going to take a
I
point.
almost pulled it off.
Yeah. But you didn't. There's laughter to be had. The laughter's slowly contaging.
Contagion?
Contagizing.
That's not even a word.
Oh man, how did we not name one of the diseases in Pandemic Legacy laughter? There's been
wow.
It's the best medicine.
There's been an outbreak of laughter. Well, so I mean, oh no, that wasn't Pandemic Legacy. That was just a regular game of Pandemic where we named one of the diseases the Darkness, and it wasn't that they'd like outbreak. They'd just go on tour to new cities. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about games that aren't Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons more. Because this has nothing to do with Pandemic here.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Well, Gimp, I need you to open so that I thank you.
As a free action, I pick up 2 supply cubes.
All right. Are you taking them from a person, or are you just picking them up from the ground?
Off the ground.
Okay. Are you gonna supply an area, or?
I'd like to build a cell tower.
It's a strong choice. All right. So the cell tower. This area is, I guess, the south. So it's gonna be. We'll go with yellow. You now have a yellow tower.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
Jordan, your turn.
think. All right. So, you guys are in the village of Maria, I believe. Do we say Narnia? I forgot. I can't tell.
Probably, hopefully, we don't say Narnia.
Maria.
Maria?
Is that? Oh, Maria. Oh, well, the stream just crashed. Oh, there it goes back. Yeah, so I believe that we're going to kick things off by Zach. I need a history roll from,
Yes.
not Duxa,
Yorha.
Yorha. Sorry, it ends in an A. What do you want from me?
Really
Jesus,
waiting.
break character name, probably.
Really waiting for Yorha to die so we can have the end of Yorha.
I don't know.
Not too bad. Oh yeah, no, Yorha's intent is to die at some point, or my intent with Yorha is to die over and over and over again once that's remotely mechanically feasible.
Mm-hmm.
That's the spirit.
Okay, am I still being heard?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yep, we got you.
yes.
Got you. I got 10 on history check. which
Sorry, I
is
had a
exactly the middle.
cascading driver failure for a second. I'm not sure if anything's working.
Interesting.
We're having some fun technical gubbins tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
I remain gubbin free.
All right. So, you have you rolled a 10. And I don't really like this picture anymore. I want a new picture.
Okay.
I don't have a good picture. So you rolled 10, and the result is this is a new thing. Wait, we talked about this being an old thing before. This is not a it's a side effect of like the rot doesn't do it, right?
Okay.
But there's probably rot nearby.
All right.
If not here, then somewhere fairly close.
Okay.
That might just be your paranoia speaking.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I will relay this to Fritz. There's rot about. We should find it and eliminate it before it takes this place. They seem weakened already.
Okay, that means we need to do some scouting here. So we have some history knowledge that we gained from our last session. So we could put together a likely area for Keith to scout out for us. Or do you have other ideas?
I have a in-universe question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What's the SOP for finding rot? What's the best practice?
I'm gonna turn that around on you.
Great.
Right?
Well,
Like-
I'm legitimately, I don't know what that would be. Because it seems like looking for shit when we're already semi-mystical doesn't make a huge amount of sense.
What? I mean, we used to rely heavily on Yorhas. I mean,
Yeah.
we were never really that much of a field unit in the first place.
But I mean,
And Yorhas just...
the Ash Wardens as a whole, they can't universally rely on Yorha.
No, they did. Yeah, that's all it was the whole time. No, let's think of something.
Well,
So,
I'm
I
wondering
mean-
if there's a magnetic component to it, if there's a compass or something, and maybe it's not 100% reliable, but or something more mystical, right? Because we do ritual, we beat each other up and lash each other to trees. And...
I'm sure some of it's detective work where people that go to this area always die and never come back,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then there's probably some bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
It would be, is there a material that acts as a lodestone for the rot though? And what
We
And
would
that-
already kind of established that the wardens collect burned rot, right?
Yeah. Ash.
So we just get Yorha high on our supply.
Well, I was gonna say, is it sort of a dowsing rot thing where you have a vial of it and it? No. Yeah, I know. But you have a vial of the burned rot and it
You do that on
slowly
purpose.
moves to the direction of the nearest rot source.
yeah.
Worse idea.
If you put a nail on a leaf in water, how it points to stuff. Maybe it's something like that.
Worse idea. What if it's not burned? And so the rod is just magnetically attracted to a portal.
Yeah.
And so we
What
just
if-
have
what
a
if-
glass vial that's just got living rot in it.
Yeah, what if there's like either a rot, like our commanding officer wears like a chain with rot around his neck, or there's like a case with rot in it that we open up and like we take the vial out and
They've got
douse
like
with it.
it's in their weapon or whatever. Like they have a twist off handle where like they keep it handy, you know, if they ever need it.
Yeah.
And if they
Yeah.
fall in battle, you have to make sure to get their weapon because that is our detection method.
I still also
Yeah.
really like the idea of getting Yorha just high as a motherfucker on some raw
Well,
ash.
that's the old way, and that's like immediately what Yorha goes to, and like Fritz's tiny hand lands on Yorha's shoulder. It's like, no.
Jet
We did
boots
this
fully
the last
engaged
time.
to get on the level.
He's constructed an impromptu ladder so he can actually put his hand on your shoulder.
Well, he's a glitter boy.
It's like
so he's
climbing
got,
on
like,
somebody to get there too.
sensors, yeah.
I
From
was
one
gonna
shoulder to
say-
the other one.
I was gonna say with the vial, you know, like seeing where it moves and stuff. If you hold it up to your ear like a seashell, you just hear a very faint "Follow me, follow me, follow me."
Mhm.
Just like, du hast mich gefragt, du hast mich gefragt.
But if you play it in the wrong direction, it grows quieter or stops talking.
If you play it backwards, it sounds like you're summoning the devil.
Mhm.
Ham wallop, ham wallop.
No,
Eva,
it's
Josh.
turning it away.
It could also be that, you know, just like when, you know, someone, you know, busts their knee and then it hurts during weather, like, you know, a storm, they can tell when a storm's coming. Maybe
Yeah.
Kate's wing stubs
Oh,
might hurt more when she's
Right, like-
going towards rot.
I have
think
a
that there's
knee that
probably-
hurts when it like is about to rain, so I can sympathize with this a whole lot.
I think there's probably like 5 or 6 different ways at this point that y'all can find rot. Like there's absolutely the mundane
Yeah.
sort of
Do we
the way
each
that
have,
has
like, a
been
preferred
like in the
method?
past.
By this point,
I think
Right.
individually we all have our own methods.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we break
Goth
out
can
and
just
we do
like
stuff,
pray
yeah.
and find out too, right?
Yeah.
Finding the rot is like gumbo. Everybody has a different recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a gumbo recipe now, Aaron. I should share
But
it with you.
when our powers combine,
I like the idea of like all of us being like rot and looking at each other and making eye contact and then like breaking off
Yeah.
and doing completely bizarre and disparate things about it.
Kate is hopping on
Alright,
her
split
head.
up and look for clothes.
Oh
Does
wait,
that-
It's a shame
does that
I'm.
make Kate Scooby?
I was
I
gonna.
know exactly what Kate is doing, and I have to find the video and send it to you.
It's a shame that I'm a red tiefling because otherwise it could be Blue's Clues.
I just want us to pull out some power rings and
Yeah.
form Captain Planet now,
Mhm.
though.
This minus the paper.
Yorha is definitely the heart.
Sure.
That is an adorable, adorable bird.
Okay.
The nails are driving me crazy.
All right. So yeah,
Sorry.
what do?
Is Yorha allowed to get just high as balls on Ash?
Can we stop Yorha?
Yeah.
I mean, Yorha will take orders,
He
right?
goes to snort it, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Kill me?"
Like some kind of cop?
Imagine your hug going up to Fritz, towering over him. Like, Captain, do I have permission to get high as
Well, like,
So, Yorha just got a hand on Fritz's forehead.
Yeah.
Like,
Permission to force when he plays it, Cap.
God, just doing a rail off like the blade of your glaive.
It's gray and still squiggling. Like,
Yeah. It's
This is
clobbering
actually just-
time.
This is just ash from the campfire from last night. We just don't tell Yorha anymore. We ran out of the rot dust a while ago after the last ritual. We haven't been to new rot infestation in a while. But just keep Yorha happy. No, this is totally rot ash.
Oh wow, awesome! Wow,
Good times.
that's just great. Okay,
What's
cool.
great?
All right. We are going to party. Yeah. So okay, Vashla. You will know what to do when the time comes. Come on.
After a really intense fit, your heart pulls back, going like, "Woo, natural 20."
No one else knows what the
there's
fuck
some
you
Ric
mean.
Flair to the rule. It's like, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when Yorha takes a critical hit.
Oh, damn Florida man always showing up.
So, which do you decide on doing? I mean, we've got like all of you have different methods of discerning this. Who wants to take the lead?
I can if no one else will.
I mean, if you really want to do the hopping about.
Just like clack, clack, clack. She's just hopping down the road.
She asks somebody to hold her little bird sandals, and then she starts like hopping around in slowly expanding circles.
Hold my beer.
Check the ground.
It's something about like she feels like it's something to do with like the resonance when she hits the ground, like she can feel it through the earth a little bit, and then it's kind of this pull that she feels inside that she can't explain and probably won't explain to anybody because that seems like it would raise more questions than answers.
So you do the like Toth earthbending vision thing?
Yeah, that's kind of how I saw it. Is a little bit like that, and it's pretty rudimentary, but like it gives like a general idea of location and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, I imagine the live rot method is probably not best done in the middle of a town full of people. We
Yeah.
probably don't want to advertise.
Hey, we've got a jar of that shit that attacked you.
See?
I assume I should roll for this.
Oh yeah, and add you could take advantage
Okay.
because basically it sounds like everybody's helping you. So
Yeah.
somebody declare who's helping you and do the thing.
I'm helping Kaith by holding her sandals because I'm a cobbler.
Can't you also provide inspiration?
I mean, oh yeah, I'll also give you divine dance guidance.
I don't need dance guidance.
I mean,
I got a 1 extra for that.
I
That's
don't-
my guidance.
I don't know who my god is, but maybe they're Lord of the Dance, right?
Maybe.
my.
So what am I in perception, survival, investigation?
I
I
mean,
think perception or survival would be for like tracking stuff, probably. Right?
yeah, I think survival is probably pretty reasonable.
24.
Or
Yeah,
24.
so-
Yep. 2 19s in a row. That's interesting.
How will you decide which one?
Because one of them will be left behind, and one is the right one to pick. So
If we'd been playing 4E and you were a specific kind of the Divine Striker, that would be a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Avenger? That was the one.
Avenger, yeah.
Avengers were pretty awesome. Where did all of these things that I want go? Okay. Oh well. So you have no problem tracing. Well, so you start hopping around, and in your house, Senrathi starts kind of like. Was your response to dance with Kate to kind of like to hop around behind her, or?
I stay well clear.
And after like,
Maybe I've like smoothed out some of the ground with my tail to like let the dust be a little more even or something. Because maybe that's important for the detection. Just having like an even coating of dust so that the disturbances stand out more.
for some reason, I had never thought of using tail. Wow. Okay. Right. Sorry. The whole tail thing. Aaron, you start hopping around and going in a little circle and doing your thing, and like it's not. I don't know if it's like super conscious for you, but you start like hopping off in a direction, and then you just like you get the scent or like the feeling in your bones, and you start taking off, and it's kind of like a back trail sort of thing, as opposed to knowing the direction that the thing is. Like it's backtracking a trail as opposed to like having a compass direction to north, right? So you're kind of like running around back and forth on the ground, and you can tell when you're getting closer, and like everything to you seems to have things start like I don't know if birds have. I don't know if you envision the birds the same way, but like the air starts to taste different to you. Like this is a familiar taste on the air as you're getting closer to what feels like the right spot. And you've kind of crashed through this set of underbrush that has been used to carefully disguise a break in the foliage around the entrance to a cave.
Okay. I think at this point, like she probably slowly comes back to her senses and realizes, sometimes you don't realize like you're clenching your jaw and it's really sore. That's kind of like her wings ache, and I think like there's a little trickle of blood coming from one of them, like that something was trying to reconnect or something, and so she's gonna look behind her and try to hide it and say, I think it's this way. I know it's this way.
Yeah, you definitely have the strongest sensation here, and it's definitely like in this cave.
Ah, good. The obligatory spooky cave. Sunrathi actually says that. I think they're a little genre aware.
On occasions, if he stares out into the distance, he sees a fourth wall.
One day he hopes that he will have the chance to murder it.
I think she's gonna get her bow out and then look over at Fritz and say, "Well, boss, what's the plan?"
We go in.
Just go for it.
just imagining
Fritz
Vashla
no
like
problem going into a dark cave without any light. So
just imagine Vashla like shield down, just like YOLO.
But why? I can see in the dark.
Yeah. Well, no, but you're just like shield down and like.
As I recall, I'm the only one without dark vision, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How much?
I
How much
on Yorha's shoulder and guide him
and
and be like
no,
a mobile?
I feel like there's
What-
some sort of legendary item or magic item I can make for you eventually.
one
It's
leg
like a
on
wood
each
shelf.
shoulder.
The goggles of seeing.
It's because they like goggles of night vision.
A torch. Also, one leg on each shoulder, and that's how you tell him what leg to move.
I'm gonna ratatouille him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
she's got a foot on each shoulder, and then she's like got whatever hair he has in her beak, and she's like just steering him.
Steering Yorha.
This is
It's
fantastic.
way better than goggles.
It's like torches exist. I
I need two hands for
Also-
this glaive.
Also, I really like the mental image of Yorha being so out of his gourd on like wrought ash that he just thinks he can see in the dark right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, Yorha just like totally like, yeah, he runs in, or eyes are huge,
Why am I thinking in
pupils fully
Kate's voice?
dilated.
Yeah.
Do you talk
Actual
about
picture
your
of
wife?
Yorha.
It's like half an hour later, he wonders why he's thinking in Kate's voice.
Does Yorha talk about his wife while he's like this?
Oh wow.
Probably like really old stories that Yorha doesn't like actively remember, but they just sort of like in my fever dream are shooting out of my mouth.
All right, so you've got your Keith, you've got your noble barbarian steed, Claw, and are guiding him down the into the cavern. And as far as genre-aware caverns go, or tropes go for your caverns, it's not. It is actually less of a cavern. Well, it's definitely a cavern, but it's kind of like someone has spent some time smoothing out the floor and like kind of widening it just a little bit. There's been some stone crafting here, and it's it is in D&D terminology, the cave entrance would be large. It's big enough in here to get a cart.
I doubt that's mechanically relevant, Sunrothi says, marching into the cave.
Wide
Or-
and smooth will be very helpful now that I can't see anything.
Or a sledge driven by bears. Could be both.
This just got very subtle knife in here. Golden compass. What was the third
Yeah.
one? That's gonna bother
I
me.
have no idea what you're talking about.
You can hear sort of a chattering going on. Like it's you can't really make out individual words, but there's definitely some sort of discussion going on deeper inside the cave.
Great. I will stumble towards it blindly. Being steered by the bird. Did we determine that's what's happening right now?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you're
If you
bird
will
driven.
allow it, like if
Oh, yeah.
I don't
you
think I
consent to
actually
this,
would.
Bird will steer you.
Okay.
What's up, Jordan?
Bird is
I was
guiding.
saying, I don't think. Okay, it's funny as Jordan finds it. I'm not sure if Vashla would actually let them go first.
Well, there's no way I know who's first.
Yeah, right. But I
Because-
just think
I mean,
Vashla would find it.
I imagine Keith just taking him in a circle at the back, just a a holding pattern. He's
Well,
flying in a holding pattern
yeah,
until he's ready to go in.
Exactly, because you keep the barbarian on the move to keep him warm.
Barbarians are like
Or
sharks.
is
If
the
they
other-
stop moving, they die.
Exactly.
So, like they're both keeping each other busy and out of trouble, so nobody else in the party is gonna stop them.
So, does Yorha run on diesel? Is that what we just determined?
Biodiesel in
We
ash
lost-
form.
We
God
lost
damn
the
it.
key, so we have to keep him running.
Yeah. Well, like you plug
Yeah.
in diesel cars in winter so they
Yeah.
Mhm.
doesn't turn to sludge.
Does that mean that Yorha has a plug-in hybrid?
Yes.
Okay, so Yorha, this area is totally dark, but you're sure it's fine because Keith has got you well in claw. Or wherever, I think. So, Jordan, you said that you wanted
Vashla's going first.
you want Vashla to lead the way. Okay, is Sunrathi, are you cool with Vashla leading the way? Are you
Yeah.
gonna stop her?
No. This is her function.
Yeah.
Right. I thought for some reason I thought you were like the Get Down crew, like Brooke and what's his face were.
Please
Oh,
allow
no.
me to complete my directive.
So Vashla, you kind of like what's your how do you breach the cave?
Okay, so I think after a while, I'm just walking in, hammer over shoulder at the ready and stuff. But with like my free hand, after listening to them a little bit, just talking, I probably actually cast dancing lights to circle around myself.
If we want to go quiet instead of loud, I can cast invisibility.
Yeah.
How does that interact with lights?
Cast it on everybody but me. I want to float.
Oh shit, I totally...
light.
Oh man, I
You
could
cast
hit...
invisibility on the light.
That is the least efficient and most niche counter spell ever.
I have all these spell slots. I don't know what to do with.
No. Andrew is just annoyed by how obnoxiously bright it is over his
I'm just out. Okay, so you take this light and you cast invisibility on it. No.
Well, I mean, it's just like that's how diffuse lighting works in video games, right? It's just like this area is bright. I don't know why.
That's how pre-baked lighting works, and then it doesn't respond to your shadows at all. Yeah.
And that's
Oh.
exactly what happens here. We don't cast a shadow. Nobody casts a shadow in this place anymore. It's just like ambient low-level light.
Oh, God.
All right, Vashla. Vashla. Oh, all the words today. As you reach your cavern, hammer casually over your shoulder. Before you catch lights, you realize you can't understand a word of what's being said.
By your hand?
Yorha's back at the entrance doing laps. I don't know.
There's spooky cultists inside.
Oh.
Yeah, the evil in the cave is talking.
Okay, yeah, okay, at that point I don't cast dancing lights. I was too busy visualizing Keith and Yorha. I'm just gonna approach as far as I dare. to the voices.
Okay. So I mean, you're Vashla. You're pretty daring.
Yes.
So, you get you kind of creep down this smooth cavern floor, and it's this kind of smooth that is like worn with use, as well as seeing some stone carving going on here. As a dwarf, you can recognize this is crude work, but old work. Right, this wasn't carved overnight.
Yeah.
The cavern kind of bends a couple times as you're going downwards. It's just enough to have kind of a natural, what do you call it in those plumbing things for there's like a trap sort of thing, so that light doesn't. So
U-bend.
It's like a U-bend in the cave. You go downwards and to the left, and then the tunnel turns again to the right, going downwards, and then straightens out. So it's like no light, kind of like
it baffles the light.
It baffles, right? There's a natural baffling of the light, and there's a decidedly orange glow being emitted from down here. And is Keith? Keith, how far are you away?
I'm exactly as far away as anyone else is from Yorha.
No?
What? No. You are on top of it.
Right.
Do you mean Vasha?
No. I'm just saying, wherever Yorha is, I'm there, so I'm that far away. I was gone for a
You're
second.
driving? Where are
He's
you?
driving car.
Okay, you know what? I'm following closely, not closely behind. Maybe 10 or 20 feet back from Vasha.
Okay, so you pretty clearly hear the talking of the voices, this chittering, and it's like halfway between in pitch between like a 6-year-old, like a 5-year-old playing quietly by themselves, but like that kind of constant narrative that you've got going on, like, oh, then we go over here and we blow everything up and like that sort of thing, except there's like 3 or 4 different voices all doing the same thing. They don't seem to be talking to each other, and you can only vaguely make out the occasional word, but there are several things talking.
Okay, great. Does it look like anyone else has noticed?
I mean,
what?
we can hear them, but
Right, but
you're the only
one that might
person
make out the
who
words.
has deep speech.
Oh. Hey, everybody, there's rot kids up ahead? Maybe.
At that point, the head underneath you thrashes, as though looking side to side to try to figure out what you're talking about.
Let's call them rotlings. I can't remember what
You're level 5, right? Or level 3?
5, fuck.
Okay.
I can't
Hold on,
remember what
change
they
your
call
character sheet.
themselves. It's one of those. I can feel the words right there, but rotlings should work though for a term.
The women and the children.
Point me at them.
So
I'm
you can drive
actively
them
doing
before
so.
you?
Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my glaive.
It's exactly what's happening right now.
God. Yorha Baneblade, please don't sue us, Games Workshop. That's your full name.
That's fair.
Yorha Baneblade, oh god, please don't sue us, we're not actually that rich.
It's an old name. It's an old southern name.
From the
The Dorchester, please don't sue us, we're not
No.
actually that riches.
You know what happened? I took my Dragon White.
There
name.
you go.
It's actually a very old name.
Ah yes, copyright infringement, the Silver Dragon.
Okay, I can't verify that this is a good enough fight for you guys. So
Okay,
if you die, I'm sorry.
that's fine.
It's all right, I'll just come back.
I mean,
He wakes up around a new party. You're just like, what year is it? And that's the end of the episode.
I wake up when we're playing the Sprawl. It's like, he with an axe.
I mean,
Hey, how good are you at hacking stuff? And you pick up the glaive, and they're like, What the fuck
What?
are you
Yeah.
doing?
+7 on a d20.
And they're there with a couple of D6s. So there's a charging of into the rooms going on between. Yes, you're raising your hand, Vashla.
I meant to say I'm in the vanguard for sure.
I was about to say, yeah, Vachla's leading the charge.
Yeah.
So the two of you kind of burst into this room, and it looks like there was it's got that root cellar quality to it. Like there are the room is fairly large, and it's got that kind of cold feeling to it. And everything you've got the brown of the wood. There's shelving that has been used to line the walls, and there are barrels, and there are stacked barrels, lots of shelves with like jars and stuff on them, and it appears to have been like a root cellar sort of thing. Like there's sort of a place where some nearby villagers at one point in time put their goods to last a little bit. Yeah, to preserve. Of course, now everything is covered with a fine layer of orange fuzz.
Okay.
I should cast fire to make it some hot fuzz.
Your hut.
Damn it.
Your hut.
So
This is your brain. Don't eat anything in here.
and there are like dozens of these small creatures, and they all appear to have like they are different parts of like a person.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, good.
Because, like, the arms that rebelled and stuff, the ones that... Good.
And they all have their own little limbs, and like eye stalks for the parts. So there's like an arm crawling on the ground, like the fingers are pushing it behind it, but it's got little stumpy arms and legs that are pushing. And it's got this one eye that's kind of like grown out of the stump of the bottom of the forearm, and that they're all kind of like whispering to each other or at none of them. And they're just kind of like bringing things from the room towards the center and kind of pushing it together. And there's this orangish portal-y thing that seems pretty stable, but it's not big. It's very small.
Is the portal giving off? Sorry.
I was gonna say, does like divine magic seal portals?
All right, stuff our fire sealed portals.
And
Sure.
blood.
Sure.
Fire and blood.
Oh, the blood, yes.
Can I see in here?
There is an orange glow.
Okay.
Does divine magic seal portals into what's the next like angriest thing in the room?
So, divine magic, you don't know. You've
Okay.
never done it before.
Okay. I'm going to
Right.
invent and then apply the scientific method.
Okay.
Despite the fact that we have like gunpowder. So clearly some technology has been established.
There's like a solid dozen of these things crawling around, and they're not all arms and hands and like the face of it, like the one half of a dude's head.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's like, it's a variety of bits and pieces.
A smorgasbord.
So, somebody give me a reason that your HUD doesn't just like hack everything right now.
Can't see it.
Well, no, you can. Because I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt and then spend a sorcery point to make it a twin spell, which basically means I get to cast it twice on 2 distinct targets. Which is a thing that I like decided to read the player's handbook and figure out that I can actually be like doing a lot more.
Knowledge is power.
I also had an idea. You can
Okay.
do that thing that makes a voice louder, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I sort of have a podium to speak from right now.
Sort of, yes.
I might be able to usher them back through that portal, and we can spend our efforts to close it.
I don't think we should suffer them to live.
That's fair. Just ideas.
Can I just point out that Kate is specifically less vicious against weird rot crap than she is against everything else?
I was going to say institutionalized power, but yes.
Also true, yes. Well, I mean, that's just who we come in.
But who can blame her?
Right.
I mean, is there a pair of wings crawling around on the ground right now, too?
Nope.
Oh.
These are decidedly all human parts.
Burn it.
That would very quickly turn into a demand for some scientific experimentation.
Okay.
Put the crawly bits of the wing on my stuff.
Scientific.
Let me just purify these wings with holy fire. Okay, here you go.
Vashla,
I'm going to do the orc method and just believe it'll work and just stick them on.
To add racing stripes and
Yeah.
paint them red first.
One of them sideways, like I somehow fly horizontally.
Like they're constantly doing the side stroke.
Okay. So can I throw a guiding bolt out, or?
You can do literally anything you want. This is Dungeons and Dragons.
Cool. I'm gonna throw a guiding bolt at the portal, and then its twin is going to go at, I don't know, the thickest looking body bit that's just crawling around.
Okay.
So I spend a spell point. I push a button. 17 versus a portal's AC.
Unfortunately, the AC of the broadside of a barn is 20.
Fuck.
So,
Well-
yeah, that totally works.
Cool. So yeah, I hit the portal for 17 radiant damage,
Okay.
Ugh.
and the next attack against it has advantage.
Okay. So, in the past, we've just talked about closing portals. We've burned the portals out of existence.
Mhm.
Right? We've performed a ritual. We fed it blood to destroy. Question mark? The ritual? We'll close it at the very least.
Yeah.
And now you're shooting a bolt of radiant energy at it.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you think is going to be happening here? Like,
Anything I've hit with it so far that like even had a hint of rot on it has like double combusted.
right.
So I mean that's kind of what Sinrathi's expecting. I mean, if you have a different reaction in mind, because like I'm honestly like expecting more kaboom than maybe we want to experience, because like annihilation could occur on the other side.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, is matter and antimatter?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I have hurled a javelin of like solid anti-rot into the material plane of fuck this.
I accidentally rolled explosions into the gasoline dimension.
Well, so, the first thing that you find is that accessing your power here is trivial, right?
Sweet.
The connection between the ability to talk to God or your God, or the concept of freedom, liberation, truth, justice, and hope is very near here, and so you pull in this power and you expel it forward with the intent of purifying the thing in front of you.
Yeah.
And it like there's a moment where the blue of the bolt and kind of the because in my head it's kind of like that bluish white concept.
I'm picturing literally the sun javelin from the video game Tyranny, which is like it just looks like a rod of like bright orange flame.
Okay.
With a point which is utterly redundant because it's just magic.
Bright orange flame, yeah.
Yeah.
So you heard this on this rod of orange flame into this flickering orange portal with this kind of this darkish center to it, and it kind of absorbs it and folds inwards as it happens. And there is definitely a moment where you're not quite sure what happened, and then like the entire thing kind of like, I don't want that to burst into fire because fire doesn't make any sense. So it's got to be like
I mean, fire could make sense. This is our universe.
No, I meant
Mike already knows what it's going to do, and the fire does not make sense.
Okay.
right. It is so you know the goblins at the beginning when we first started playing, when they got punctured, they kind of exploded into these spores.
No?
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
breathing in by someone. Someone breathed him in.
Yeah.
At 8 purified.
Flash up,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
those ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
Way back.
Okay.
like the first session.
I
Yeah,
remember
it's
because
it's
I
the same sort of thing. So the javelin goes into it, and there is this deformation of the portal in 3 space where it kind of like wraps forward, and then there's a it's a soundless pop because it's not really breaking. It's just like it erupts outwards in this dandelion / like kicked myconiid spore mushroom effect.
Great.
And the thing just it just poofs, and all the spores kind of poof outwards and then kind of like rain down around the room. None of you are really close enough to get caught in it, unless you guys have gotten really, really close. Anybody want to volunteer to be caught in this little spore rain? Okay.
So if Keith is volunteering, yeah.
Well, Vashta did too, right?
I'll totally do it. Just, yeah.
Master
breath?
and Blaster over here.
I could probably take it better.
Who runs Party Tao?
So
How did
I
you
like
not make
it.
that connection already, Zach?
No, I knew yeah.
Okay. You just looked shocked when I said that, as though it
No,
was
I
something you had...
was holding my breath
Okay.
as we ran forward.
As he was commanded, do not get in his
eat
way.
anything.
Yeah.
Don't eat, don't breathe. Just be a podium for a little bit.
Don't eat, don't breathe, just kill.
Just kill. But
That's
not
what it
wings.
looks like.
Don't kill wings.
Faster barbarian cat, kill, kill.
Barbarian cat. So I'm gonna need a save from y'all.
Why though? It's fine.
The 3 of you who volunteered.
The 2 of you who volunteered and the one who was voluntold.
I'm not sure why we're volunteering
Nailed
to
it.
breathe in rot.
Yes!
Because I found an efficient way to spend spell slots, so we must balance the scales.
Does my guidance roll from Sinrathi count for this?
Yeah, it's your next d20.
I did not need it. Oh well.
Yorha, you seem fine.
I seem fine.
Yeah.
I seem fine. I imagine like Keith is running me forward as this is happening, probably looking around for wings on the floor.
No.
right?
Well, and you're howling, right? Like you're doing
Yeah.
No,
And then it's
he's
just
not-
like this blast of spores.
Not
right in the
howling
face.
yet. It's like the giant inhale before the howl.
And then suddenly, like, I'm painted orange by these spores.
I don't know. Can I like reflex save to trip Yorha before he runs into the room like an idiot?
I mean, he can see into the room like an idiot.
At this point, he's still letting me drive him. An
Yeah.
error in decision making was made a long time ago on his part.
So I mean,
I also like the fact that Keith is, like, hanging off the back of Yorha, like those riders that used to use their horses for cover, right? Just sort of, like, behind
Mm-hmm.
as Yorha takes all of the spores.
She's just
all of the
leaned like
spores.
she's still the rest of her body's upright. The neck is just craned at some unnatural degree, so she can like sit in the wake of the wind. You might.
No, wait. Keith and your heart are Banjo and Kazooie.
Yes.
That's pretty accurate, actually, yeah.
Yorha is a bear, yeah.
okay. And yeah, so you get a face full of spore stuff.
Yay!
This is straight from the plane of rot, so it's like extra crunchy too.
It's that pure uncut shit.
It's dank,
Yeah.
is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's I don't know anything about any drugs, so it's like all.
I
nuts
too do not
and
know
stuff.
anything about drugs.
Is it
It's like those
free
2
whole
marijuanas that'll kill you if you're in the
Hello,
same.
police officers. We are a drug-free party.
Yeah, no, there's been no drugs in 5th edition.
I'm gonna roll my second guiding bolt now.
Sure.
That was.
Right.
It's been like
Right.
10 minutes. I
Yeah.
forgot.
Right into Yorha's back.
14 on one of the tiny ones.
14 or 18? Oh,
18's the damage.
God, 18 radiant damage.
Yeah.
It
It's gonna
turns out
explode.
divine casters are some bullshit. Who knew?
So the fun part, you said 14 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So two things.
Mhm.
First of all, once the that orange sort of cascade settles down, you see that like the dozen or so of these little entity things have crawled together and stitched themselves into larger creatures,
Mhm.
like kind of a tangle of arms and legs and faces.
Oh, like an arm
Eye
king.
stalks. Yeah, like an arm king. Lots of eye stalks poking around at different angles, and kind of like way more ambulatory than a collection of random libs holding hands should be.
Mhm.
And I'm going to need you to roll me. So there are two distinct meta entities now.
Great.
One of them that is essentially an eyeball, the eye stalks have come together to form one compound eye in the front of this creature.
Ugh.
And kind of like the inverse of that, where they're all like
Just like an eye socket.
no, like the limbs
like a-
have put their non-eye stalk parts together, and they have the eye stalks in the outside.
It's like a
Okay.
bouquet of eyes
Ship.
coming out the front of this thing. Yeah.
It's the
So do you
Hadouken
want-
eyeball configuration.
So you want to shoot the compound creature or
I
the
hit the discount beholder.
okay, and you do indeed hit the discount beholder.
Sweet. It takes 18 radiant flavored damage, and the next attack against it has advantage.
Okay, so you hit the discount beholder, and like
The legally distinct beholder. Although I guess we're literally playing Dungeons and Dragons, so it can be an actual
Right.
beholder.
It is actual beholder.
No, this
it's
is a
not an actual beholder
hodgepodge.
because
Like,
that would kill you dead where you stood.
it's
Well,
the Kmart version. This is a witnesser.
Witness.
That Jesus,
Mm.
now I've got to run another campaign entirely.
So I was gonna ask
No.
if these limb things seem stronger together.
They are, in fact, yes. God damn it! Stop it! So you shear off like a good quarter of the thing with this blue bolt thing, your flaming javelins, and it kind of like the parts of it that you hit get like knocked off and like popped up into the air and like fizzle off into black smoke. Like there's a very the Half-Life 2 the gun where you hit up the thing and they go and they
When you hit him with the advanced gravity.
That
gun
effect.
towards
Yeah.
the end.
The souped up gravity gun after you walk through the thing and it
Yeah.
I love that
interacts
effect.
interacts poorly with the 0 point energy field.
God, that's like the best weapon. He just, just
Can you hear the sound that it makes? Wow.
Games that do like a good end run where it's just like, all right, you did it. Here's a victory lap. You're unstoppable. Welcome to becoming God. Those are such great moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do that thing to half of them. Cool. And it's like white and black, right? Like the black is the center and then the
Yeah.
white is the bits that's flaking away.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it all becomes like ethereal when it happens. It just kind of floats and then just dissipates.
So yeah.
Witness for me.
Yeah, that's
You gotta
Senrathi's
use
surprise action.
initiating event, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alpha
All
strike.
right. Yeah. Like let's throw some initiative down here. I guess we
Do I
should do
s-
things like properly dungeony and worldy.
Do
Shit, Dungeons and Dragons.
no. Do I take like disadvantage on my initiative check because I just sucked in a mouthful of spores and I'm probably like horking them up on the floor?
I mean, they're firmly so it's like, you inhaled what looked like dandelion seeds and found them more like cloves.
Oh, okay.
So they're like
Okay.
crunchy and shellful and barbed.
Awesome. Awesome.
told you not to breathe. Create puke.
Don't.
No,
Mostly.
I learned the spell Birth Forth Apocalyptica.
Good band. Good band. creatures. Herbs.
Cause vomiting.
Cause nausea.
What? What did you say?
Nothing. Keep going. It's like you're causing nausea.
Mm-hmm.
It's cause
Oh,
nausea.
let's. I thought NOS. Nos.
Oh, jeez. That's what yours has on now.
That's why he's so giggly. God, that's like that panel from the Hulk where he's just like covered in puppies and laughing.
Uh-huh.
Ah! A great panel.
It was horrifying.
Donk.
We're in a pirate cave.
I'm
Shit.
a pirate cave.
It's a cave.
It's a pirate's cave for me.
Yo, oh, yo.
There.
Is this water continuous?
Yes.
Okay. It's a shame I already spent those 2 supply cubes where I could trace a route.
Look, this map was awesome. Looked awesome, and I grabbed it. I didn't really. Man, I have to think of all this cool stuff to go along with it. Thanks. Awesome. Pillars who are awesome. Let's drop Keith in here. Keith, where are you not? Why are you not? There you go. And Fritz. And Yorha. And Vashla. And Miss Radio Tower. Zarathi. Mr. Radio Tower, excuse me. All right.
Okay, Keith, where we at? Where did this happen?
Where's the bad guys?
So we would couple switchbacks. So I'm guessing that the orange square in the southwest part of the map is where the portal was.
Yeah. Well, allow me to put this in here. Yay! That looks terrible, but why not?
We had to be front and center, Keith.
Yeah, you're in the thick of it.
I love this one. We're just gonna glue this one too. Yarr!
Does it have a mustache?
It does. That's why it's amazing.
Do you have any idea how fast you are going?
A monocle and a top hat.
God, the cop beholder is just...
Some weird monocle.
That's some bullshit
It
I
means,
didn't
like,
know I needed
Half
in
of
my
a
life.
monocle. You can have a whole monocle.
Well, no, because it's got like the mirrored. It's the mirrored shades, but it's just the one.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right here. Yeah.
I get it.
All right, cool. So these creatures need hit points, and they need to have one of them needs to have hit points removed. All right.
18 plus any vulnerability bonuses. If they are in fact vulnerable to my spoopy holy magics. I'm also super disconcerted that, like, this place seems really connected to my god, and that tends to happen in places where there are rot, and tends not to happen in places where there is not rot.
I'm sure that's
The
fine.
rocks are god kind of thing.
Coincidence. It has to be coincidence.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's just nothing of importance. Importance.
Nothing is important.
Let's drop Fossil over here.
Not the droids you're looking for.
Turn. Where are my turns? Is it this thing?
Control
Yay.
Y, I think, opens up the initiative tracker.
I guess I'll just click on the time.
Mm.
So Juan is not here at the moment. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because Mosh was there twice. And you get a turn, and you get a turn.
Everybody gets a turn.
I don't know. The broken
so-
link has a turn.
Wait, what?
I just got a broken image link. I don't know if that's just me.
I see them both fine.
I only see one.
They were the same creature.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Look at the stream. The stream's awesome. Okay, cool. So, did this initiative thing work properly?
I do not see
It,
any of us.
Why?
it told me that I did not show up, so.
5 to 12. Keith is...
Can you not like right click and just add everyone to initiative tracker or whatever it is?
I did. Do you not see the turn order?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's the way it
Keep
copies over
holders.
permissions is really weird.
Your HUD is
The holder is
18.
What?
zero.
Are you saying roll 20 isn't perfect?
I need two
Fine.
d20s. Somebody roll a thing.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll do one.
I got one.
Fuck.
Oh, thanks.
Damn it, Keith. Where was that?
When the dice are hot, it doesn't matter what you're rolling for, okay?
Where was that 20 on my save, yo?
On the opposite face of the die that you rolled.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, no, that's
I
how they
was,
work.
Saving it for someone else.
Are you still riding me, Bird? Because I feel like you're probably fairly aerodynamic. I want to use that soon.
She has a pointy end. And some feathers on
try
the
to-
other end.
She's
You
basically
try
a
to
long
dis-
guard. Actually.
You can try to dislodge me, but just remember who's doing better at things today.
Whoa.
Captain Asthma.
Okay. So,
Oh.
For a bird, you're very catty.
all right. Sinrathi, Cobb, they have hope and power. So the thing that you burned half of it away with your javelin of fire, it charges you.
That's rude.
Like of all the things, it tries to bite you in the face,
That's very
and,
unfortunate.
and it's little eye stalky bits. Like there's the parts of it that are still left, and the eye stalks that are sticking out of it. Like there is a brief buildup of like colored energy, and then it kind of sort of thing shoots out of them at you.
I think Vashla would like to get between me and harm.
Okay,
I'd like to make it roll at disadvantage with my reaction.
sure. So
All right,
I'll
Mike.
I just rolled
straight up stand in if I can.
11 to hits. Hit me with your best shot.
1d20 plus.
What's me?
What's the roll? Twice and keep lowest.
2d20
KL.
KL1.
2d20 KL1.
Plus 11.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the thing rushes towards you, Sinrathi, Vashla, and you just kind of like whang it with your shield or something. Like, how do you knock it away? Because it clearly doesn't get anywhere near.
It's
Sinrathi.
floating, right?
Yeah, it's
I
now
poke
in
its
the
eye.
air. The central eye.
Stab.
Yeah, I poke its eye.
Do you tell it to keep its feet on the ground?
No, I tell it to watch where it's going.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know how fast you were going?
And now Vashla is wearing the mirror shades.
You shot fucked beholder police in Dwarven.
Okay, so and the next thing that happens, Sinrathi, is you feel the touch of something not from here, kind of like gripping at you from, like not below and not like the best way I could say it is it's gripping at you from outside. It's like something not from here is trying to make its way in through you. I need a DC 3 Constitution saving throw and a I need 2 DC 13 Constitution saving throws.
That's not great. Okay, that's a 6.
Nailed it.
Yes.
And that's a 12. Good.
I mean, you could have just went with like a 6 and a 20 for your 2 rolls.
Yeah. But we
So
didn't. So yeah, from beneath me it devours.
So the first thing that happens is you are stuck. Your feet will not move from this spot.
Great.
And the next thing is you take 16 damage as it tries to enter this world through you.
Dear fuck Jesus.
Holy crap!
Cool. Cool. I am still conscious.
My favorite iteration.
Fritz.
Seems really good. Seems really, really good.
Yeah, no. Is there any visual cues that go with what just happened to Senrathi, or is it all just...
I mean, I'm imagining this Senrathi is screaming in pain.
Okay.
But
there's
unable
no, like,
to
apparent
fall.
cause.
Screaming in pain, but
Yeah.
unable to fall over or, like, great.
Okay, well, clearly Senrathi's just really terrified of these things, so I have to get rid of them now.
Well, like Senrathi is paralyzed, like in the spot, like they can't move their legs or bend their knees, and So Fritz, go ahead. Sorry.
Just trying to think what I can do. Okay,
You have that cannon, don't you?
yeah, well, I was trying to think if there's something I could do for Senrathi first, but yeah. Okay, so anyways, so I'm gonna take aim at the closest one, and I've decided that in order to make my gun more complicated, I have this large lever, like a bolt on the side that I need to use to engage the thunder part of this thing. So it's like some sort of capacity. Yeah, basically like what are those? My words are just not working.
Does it make like the capacitor whine?
Yeah.
As you like push it forward, is it actually like a solenoid that hits and goes?
Well, like
I think
I'm
there's like
imagining.
two opposing like worm gears that have to go in different directions as they're charging up some sort of charge as well.
Yeah.
And it's using like the kinetic energy. Yeah.
I want to cosplay this gun.
Pretty badass.
And that just means I'm gonna miss, right? Where's my gun?
That might be the most American thing
Yep,
said
I
on
missed.
our stream.
I want to cosplay that gun.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, my luck at rolling has not improved since I don't know every other session.
Well, I mean, you could flip one of the light side tokens to dark side if you like.
It seems like a great time to start adding to the dark side total.
Yeah, no.
What aspects did you use? Because you might want to tag one and then spend a fate point.
You know, if you want to use some stress, you can prepare beforehand too.
Flashback.
Uh-huh.
Or we can hear a devil's
that's
bargain.
just to aid.
Yeah.
We sit at the vertex of too many dimensions right now, guys.
Well, one of them's trying to enter the universe through me, so...
It's true. We don't know what rules they play by. We're just like
Whoever the extra
trying to
planar
access as
entity
much
bursts
as
out of gets to decide what RPG system we play next.
Andrew, the entity whispers to you, "It's a small world."
Great.
Oh god.
I just want to point out that my damage is like 46, so maybe it's like murder dice that I was rolling.
So just out of curiosity, can you can't convert like a movement action to a bonus action, can you?
Yeah. Yeah, bonus is
Okay.
like the smallest one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can always convert down. You can do 2 moves and a
Standard
bonus,
move.
3 bonuses, or yeah.
Yeah, you can always fold one down.
It's a minor action from 4A. They just renamed it bonus.
Okay.
Says-
I wasn't sure if it was like we get one slot of each now or okay. So not moving. So first bonus is obviously to the reload portion of my gun. Second bonus, I have a spell. It's not going to be a spell because I don't do spells. But it's called Shield of Faith.
Seems pretty good right now.
Walk it
And I try to think of how to flavor this tech-wise because force fields are probably a little bit far for this.
I mean, you
And I
like
can't think of anything else.
you like throw a vial of holy water at me or something, right?
No, it's like a shield drone. You throw it
I
out
think
there,
it's-
so this little thopter that has like a
Or-
shield on the front of
Or
it.
like
I wanted
it's
feel
like a
more like-
handheld electronic, like electricity, like repelling generator, right? It's like some sort of Tesla fucking coil that spits out of a thing, and
No, I was gonna go with like Iron Man armor, so it just
Nice.
attaches on it and then like wraps a chest piece around him. So it's just like temporary armor.
Really hold you together.
So anyways, I'll boost Senrathi's AC since he seems to be getting picked on.
Okay.
It wouldn't save me from the Constitution saves.
Yes, but if the large thing wants to hurt you again,
That's fair.
that does something.
Mhm.
But I don't have any other boosting spells here, so sorry.
Yorha.
I will. So, Keith, are you still attached to me?
Until you no longer desire it to be so.
Well, I don't know that Yorha actually noticed because you're not very big. You don't probably weigh a ton because A, you're tiny, and B, you're like have bird bones and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think she's like
So
maybe 15, 20 pounds, something like that.
yeah. So Yorha, after having like taking a face full of like weird interdimensional spores, and then seeing some, and then like having these weird like bargain bin beholders show up out of nowhere, probably doesn't notice or remember that the bird is riding him. So Yorha is going to go from like Master Blaster to Goku and just like and Super Saiyan out, and then just smash this stupid beholder as hard as you can. What did I miss?
All
Oh,
systems
nice.
Goku.
Nice.
It's a
Nice.
podcast name for a giant bomb, like DBZ rewatch thing, but I felt like it fit.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, and then I just smash. I'm just gonna hit this stupid beholder thing as hard as I can in an attempt to not have anyone else die.
All those spores made you thirsty, and now you just want to smash.
Mm-hmm.
I think right before you go in for the strike, I'm gonna hop off and try to find a reasonable vantage point to murder things from.
All right, you do your best to navigate around the suddenly blonde hair that is flying in your face.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
legally distinct from any other anime representation.
It has a
So
little tinge of orange to it, which is weird.
Okay, so I am rolling with advantage because I'm opening myself up to attack.
Okay.
And that is an 18 against AC.
Yes.
As I bring my gun axe down on the not behold, dealing 6 slashing and 8 radiant damage.
Okay, so define opening yourself up to attack. Does it get an immediate attack
So-
against you?
No, so I grant advantage to everything.
Okay.
Until the end of my turn in return advantage. So I'm just recklessly attacking this thing.
Okay,
Just
cool.
I'm doing like a spinning axe attack, Goku style leap, and I imagine like my hair is glowing for some reason that's not quite understood in the fiction, and then I slam into this thing with a giant radiant axe.
That's also
This
a
thing
gun.
falls apart. That's also a gun. This thing falls apart as only a thing made up of other people's limbs, like holding on to each other, can do. Right? You smash to pieces, and like limbs go flying, and like there's like little crunching sounds as the sublimbs break, and like the soft squish of a of a popping, not beholder eye as you cleave through it. Like it all but explodes into its component pieces.
Oh, also I forgot to. I want like the, as I'm imagining Goku or not Goku, Yorha looks like he got hit with like he opened the bag in a bank robbery and got like
Dye.
the ink dye pouch like
Yeah.
smashed in his face, but it's like those spores, and I want them to like burn off of him. That's not gonna stop the ones inside of him, but like the ones on his outside are like fleeing and or on fire.
Okay.
As I power up.
You power up, you smash the thing, it explodes. Yeah, it's not great. And as you're powering up, like the stuff on the outside of you, it kind of like does a similar sort of negative flip and then dissolve away into the air.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then it was Vosh's turn.
Hooray! Wait, so I'm just gonna go after the other bigger one.
This is the
There-
eye with the limbs surrounding it. Both limbs with the eyes surrounding it.
Yeah, there are rocks.
Yeah,
Or-
it's a cavern, right?
Okay.
So there's not like it's not a perfectly smooth stone floor.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing seems capable of crawling over it.
I see. I approach it and I'm going to poke this one in the eye as well with my hammer.
Go for the ice. Go for the ice bear.
Yes.
Do you get to call her Boo?
We'll settle that up after the fight.
Yes.
Once.
14.
So this thing is it's got many of these little limbs. It like scuttles off to the side just when you start swinging, and manages to get out of the way.
For my bonus action, I'd like to use Action Surge.
Sure.
And when I see it scuttle, I guess kind of while swinging again, like I don't stop swinging. Like after the first swing, I just spin around, do another one, adding momentum. Maybe I even have it scrape along the surface of the ground to like kick a rock into the eye as well. To something. That was even worse.
Well, I mean, it's a good plan, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you go to kick the rock. The catch is that, like, you know, the rock was a little smaller than you expected, your boot was a little higher. Like, you slip on it, which gives it, you know, telegraphs your attack, and the thing is able to like leap over you, and like get into the center of the group and like kind of spin around with one in the eye.
That's good.
That's all I've got.
Keith.
Hi.
Hi.
So what's the current combatant situation look like?
You've got the single compounded eye creature with its many limbed legs and bodies and arms, and like it's got a mouth that's made of two hands holding each other.
Okay.
Like the entire
Usual
thing
stuff.
is
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the thing that broke apart, that's dealt with. There's no more crap to do with that one.
The first one has been rent asunder by Yorha. It's mighty cleave.
I just didn't know if like the components were trying to flee and such. Okay, well I'm gonna hunter's mark the far away one, and you know, get a clear line of sight and take a shot at it. And let me find my sheet. Hunter's mark gives me 5 more damage, and my bow. It's only 11. Wow, that's not a good roll.
A lot of 4s rolled tonight.
Yeah, that's
And 1 damage? You don't add dex to damage?
Nope. I don't think so. It just says D10.
all right. So you're able to like mark it, but like as you go to shoot it, it kind of like it doesn't move like a thing you're used to hunting,
Okay.
because it drops like unit cohesion. You shoot the arrow at it, and like the parts of it kind of scurry apart to like dodge the arrow, and then glom back together.
Oh, great. Cool.
Additional actions.
Curse under my breath.
Actually,
She's gonna say, I meant to do that, and then nope, that's probably worse. That's more damning. Yeah, just curse under her breath.
I really want to figure out what the fuck is happening to me.
okay.
Seems reasonable.
How paralyzed am I?
Like
Like, can I still work my hands?
you are D&D paralyzed.
Great. Let me check the. Oh god, I have to go into the. Fuck.
I got it for you. A paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak. the creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. And the attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature.
Great. So can't speak.
Mm-hmm. No.
I know what you're
So
thinking.
probably not screaming in pain.
Yeah. So I have just stopped. So that's fun. And like, yeah, it's the like mouth shut screaming.
Panic jazz hands.
Yeah. And then I got frozen into carbonite. Let's quickly check meta magic.
I know.
I know. Great. Okay. I'm going to spend one more sorcery point. Because has anyone else taken actual damage this fight, or is it just me taking?
Just you.
Just
Nah,
you.
we're good at stuff.
Cool.
You're
Okay.
tanking for the party right now.
Yeah.
I tried.
So I will spend one sorcery point for subtle spell, which lets me cast spells without using the verbal component.
It's so subtle when you're sitting there spasming with
Yeah.
your brain hemorrhaging into the ether.
It's great,
This is a very subtle spellcasting that's going on right now.
right? And I need to check Cure Wounds because I looked at Healing Word, but that heals 4 less. Cure Wounds, great. Okay. I spend 2 sorcery points to obviate both the verbal and somatic components of casting Cure Wounds. I heal myself for 11!
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's a solid amount. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
fine.
all of the amount he can do.
Yeah, and now I'm out of sorcery points, so now I'm out. So,
At least until you're unparalyzed.
well, yeah, and then I take a quick rest and I don't get any of my sorcery points back. It's great.
Does the thing in his body
Well-
get sorcery points to spend?
God.
I mean,
Don't
I
give
mean,
him
God, that's an
ideas!
amazing idea.
I mean, right now you can be taking a quick rest though, right? You can just take a
Alright.
breather.
Yeah.
You just
Don't
take
we
5
have-
minutes, close your eyes, relax.
Some sort of saving throw to break paralysis, or is that something that doesn't happen this game?
You can save to break paralysis.
You have a cannon.
That'll break paralysis.
No, that'll just break Senrathi.
Especially if you're within 5 feet of him.
Yeah. And then no man, no crime.
You have advantage.
Yeah. No, this is great.
I shot Senrathi.
Come
But
see the
I
cave
did not
paintings
shoot
in
the
the caverns of
disciple.
Senrathi.
Jesus.
Yeah, if you want to take a saving throw, at the end
Is
of your
that
turn.
how that thing works, or
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You're paralyzed for 1 minute or until you save.
heartbeat saves? Great. Is there any way instead of saving against the paralysis, I can steel myself against the fuck shit of damage this thing's gonna deal to me next turn?
Yeah.
Cool. I would like to do that instead.
Okay.
Because
Bless
me
you.
not moving
Excuse me,
is
sorry.
less important than me
Really?
not dying.
We've gotten what we're going to get out of you this fight. It's fine. Like I said,
Oh,
just take a knee. We got this.
So yeah, I give myself advantage against this thing murdering me.
okay. You can also make a saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, great.
You're one step closer to death. I mean, that's Dungeon World, sorry.
No, that's D&D, and this is a save or suck spell, which is pretty peak D&D.
See, the problem is the stuff is actually trying to get out of Senrathi, but he's cramming it in a panic.
I mean, better in than out in this case.
Rawr.
Damn.
Okay.
Are you
This thing is
greater
now
gutting this
between
shit?
Vashla and Yorha. And the thing scuttles the central compound eye thing scuttles towards Yorha, and
Awesome.
like it charges over these rocks, and the way that it travels over the rocks is instead of like moving over the rock like a normal creature would, it splits into like multiple components. So it moves around the rock and like parts of it hop over it, and then it just reconvenes. And then like it jumps at you.
Awesome.
And it's going
Does-
to.
Does Vashli get an attack of opportunity as it moves past her?
I mean, only if she gets attacked with opportunity. It's large and it's between the two of you. It doesn't need to like, it's
Okay. Alright. The same.
Andrew.
I don't know how AOOs work in this one, because I know in 4 is when you left the like threatened zone, but I think this one might be like anytime you move. I'll double check and we can keep going.
Yeah, it's not something we can't come
I
back
think
to.
it's movement without disengaging or something. Disengaging a thing in this one? That's 13th age.
D&D.
Disengage is an action in this too. You spend your full
Yes.
round to move your speed away, or like double your speed. I'll look it up. You guys play through.
Mhm.
so 2d20, keep highest 1, right?
Oh yeah, because yours is.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yes.
22
That's a-
and 24, natural 20.
This will be
So
fun.
this is going to be like a multi-part turn here. So the first
Wait,
thing
you
I
got-
need from you.
I got 2 attacks on him. Wow.
No, I'm granting advantage.
Yeah,
Wait,
but that's
it
what
got 2
the
attacks
first
as
roll
well.
did. Oh, we got 2 attacks.
It
Nice.
actually has 3 attacks. So hold on. So
Claw,
It's,
claw, bite.
right. So
Wait.
it.
You
it
want to
leaps
deny,
on you.
right, Yorha?
Well, we'll take a shot at it. Is it like physically hitting me? Is that what's happening right now?
Yes. So
Okay.
it leaps on you. And like the creature bites you with, it doesn't really have teeth or a mouth, right? It's just these limbs and bits
It's like-
that. But as it
Gotcha.
as it lashes onto you, you can feel like tiny parts of the hands and the legs and whatever that's kind of like grinding away at your skin and your muscles and your bone. It's like filled. It's got like tiny mouths all along the thing, like tiny teeth that just sort of saw at your flesh.
That sounds awesome.
You take 12 damage, assuming that the 22 hits you.
Yes. Okay, so that'll be
Batches of
6.
6, right? So 6 and 6. So if you've got individual defense, technically it's a slashing attack. So I don't know if you have defense.
Yeah. So I have resistance. So I take half from each. So I take 6 total.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the other thing it does is when it's finished doing with that, it kind of grabs your face and stares into you.
Oh, good.
And I need a DC 12 Constitution save.
All right.
I like how this one is less spooky than the other one.
Okay, cool. So in the you can feel it trying to like blast your skin and your flesh off of your bones. It's
Okay.
trying to like mentally rip your face off for like a psychic blast sort of thing.
This is awesome. Great.
Okay. And you're totally not able. It thinks it's harder than it really is, right? You've seen some shit, right?
Mm.
Yeah, you think that's the weirdest thing? Yeah, I was once killed repeatedly to die for starvation, and like that whole keep situation, like that one stuck with me.
All the eyes
No.
blink in consternation at once.
I imagine you like send that back. Like instead of doing like the Pazak hands in your head or whatever when someone's trying to like mind trick you. You're just like, oh yeah, I was starved and like fed to my superiors for food and then resurrected.
Have you ever been a sausage and remembered it?
Have you ever seen how the sausage is made from the inside of the machine?
Yes.
No one else was in the room where it
Gosh,
happened.
technically it's a large creature, so it didn't actually leave its area. It was just,
Okay.
doing spooky stuff.
Okay.
I tried,
Last but
sorry.
not least, Vashla. I need a charisma check.
Charisma check?
Yeah, charisma deception check from you.
Okay. No, those are great.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a really high stat for Vashla.
It
It's
is the
really
only
fiery
one I
type.
have that is 0.
At least it's not negative.
Yeah. 12.
I'm really trying to figure out what the hell Vashla is bluffing down here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Vashla.
Okay.
something of yours is missing.
Mario is missing.
It can be a physical object that's no longer on your person,
Okay.
or it can be a memory,
It's your love for your goat.
or it can be like something that, like a secret that you wanted to keep hidden.
Your
But
husband
whatever it
gone.
is,
The name of your husband.
No.
Your husband is gone.
It's
Your
a
husband is
physical
gone.
object.
Your husband is gone. You're right.
When all my men died, I collected a piece of their cloaks and made like this braid of all the different cloaks. And somehow that is now missing.
you see it. The creature had one of its its hands somehow picked your pocket or stole it from you on the way by, and after it just gets done trying to blast the skin off Yorha's face, it turns to you and makes eye contact and then shoves it in its mouth and starts chewing.
Say that again. I was yelling at your head and typing.
So the thing's not missing. You know where it is now.
Yeah.
It's in the creature's holding it, right? And after it stops trying to blast Yorha's face off with its mind, it turns and locks eyes with you and then shoves this kind of patchwork cloak piece thing
Yeah.
in its mouth and starts chewing.
I shout this very, very loud dwarvish curse / battle cry that echoes in the cavern, and then I swing at it.
Yeah, roll.
12.
I really want to know what the curse is, and I think it's your father's a peacock.
Peahen, please.
Your
we've
mother-
seen
Well, no,
that problem.
your mother's a peahen. Your father's a peacock.
Hmm.
You just peacocked yourself again on air, Michael.
Look, man, birds are confusing to me. They are strange and confusing, and some of them don't have wings, and many of them are infested with rot.
You know, too soon.
Fritz, one of your charge is being clawed at by a weird rod eye creature monster, and the other one had its pockets picked.
I don't think Fritz notices because he was busy. When the camera cuts back to him, you see he's busy with a small tinker's kit, and he's adjusting the optics on its guns because clearly that's what's wrong with this gun, and not anything else that would make him miss so much.
He's got the angle, or those little angle wrenches things.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get it at IKEA?
An Allen wrench.
Yeah,
Allen wrench,
an Allen
and
key.
then he points the gun right for the side, and he checks the pressure, make sure that it's firing at the right end, and he cuts it out again. So go ahead.
And it looks up oh, what? Huh? Oh, and then I think take a shot.
All right, this thing is on Fritz's face. Not Fritz, Yorha's face.
It's on my face.
So
Shit.
if you roll, well, now it's on your face.
It'd be
If you
really
roll
funny if you didn't
low,
notice it while you were tinkering the gun.
I'm gonna have you hit Yorha instead.
It was totally sighted in wrong.
It's
Well,
right
I
in
already
front of
rolled
you,
a
isn't it?
23, so
I know, but I want to keep saying that you could hit.
you could hit Yorha. I clearly planned to, not hit Yorha. I mean, it wasn't I
planned to
didn't
hit
mind
Yorha.
either
Well,
way.
That was part of the adjustments, right? So now the shot goes around your and comes back somehow. That's how this works.
I have to bend my bullet.
Mm-hmm.
I like that movie. I know it was terrible.
You're
And every-
bold.
I never
Can you
saw it, so
Can you imagine trying to do that with a cannon the size of you? Just
Yes, I have played Serious Sam. I can't imagine it. So yeah, you so it's thunder and piercing damage. It's all together 15, right?
yes.
And do you want to describe what that looks like? Because in my mind, it looks like the lightning gun from Quake, but
Is it a shock combo from Quake? Or the pulse rifle
I
combo?
imagine-
From
I
Unreal?
mean, it's probably a fairly large slug, and if you have one of those slow motion zoom in on the bullet things like they do in Sniper, or all the Sniper games,
Sniper franchise.
it probably the Sniper franchise, sure. It's probably a very ornately carved bullet too, because these things are magic because they come out of a magic bag apparently. and it's
The derision in magic and magic bag was probably
Apparently magic.
apparently it's not magic. It's clearly science that just makes bullets come out of these bags, and I don't do anything to make them in the first place. But whatever, that's fine.
It comes from the bullet plane.
No,
Yeah, the bullet plane.
I think
inside
Bayonetta's from there.
inside Fritz's bag of holding is just like an entire instance of Minecraft, automated out the wazoo to produce bullets.
It's goblins.
Yeah.
It's goblins. There's goblins all the way down.
He's got a workshop there, and they're like, "Quick, hammer faster! He needs the lightning one.
Yeah.
Push it up, push it up."
Half of the
Imagine the
bullets end up
generation-
like going off when
Yeah.
they're being.
And so in ornate carvings, there's probably lightning sort of writhing through the channels as you have the slow motion zoom in, and then you pan back out, and the bullet just travels on its way.
You just gotta let bullets do like they do, man.
They do, yeah. When they actually are fired in the proper direction and it hits things.
Yeah.
Not your
and
hub.
15 damage, right?
Yeah, 15 damage.
Yeah, and that's a lot. So mind's eye, Mike's mind's eye, like it hits like the bullet, the slug, I guess, hits the thing. I recently been watching Harry Potter too, so it was all like bleh, Ron mouth slugs, but you mean bullet slug. So the bullet slug hits the thing, and it doesn't combust. Like, does it go or like does lightning like shoot out of it, or does like lightning bolt down from the sky even though you're indoors?
I imagine there's probably like some sort of lightning that arcs out of the impact site and travels around the creature's the wound site or whatever.
Nice. Well, I mean, there's not much of a wound site because you blow part of it off, right? Like it's
Okay. Yeah.
it's a what's the word, like it just destructs itself as it takes damage. It has ablative limbs.
It's kind of like when you put a CD in a microwave. It has that kind of effect, that crackling around the impact site.
Right. So you blow off like an arm, and like the parts around it like are cooked, and it goes, and it's still got that like that. Is your lightning yellow or is it blue?
I think it's gotta be
from Star Wars.
Yeah, it's probably blue.
Okay. And the lightning continues to like crackle over the creature's body. Yorha, this thing was trying to blast your face and like grind off your skin. It's not doing a very good job.
Yeah. I mean, if it's trying to stare into my eyes and like has recoiled in some degree, whatever approximation of horror it can provide, I'm just going to continue smashing because when I'm raging, that's what I do. So I will attempt to smash. I imagine that I wiggle my hand, one of my arms in under it, and like try to push it off, and then like smash it on the ground
Okay.
or something.
That's perfect because I know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I can have advantage, and
Oh, that's not a miss.
yeah. So I in the moment of hesitation, like between me and like whatever was doing to Todd Vashla, and then getting slugged with the rail gun, I will use that moment of hesitation on its part to make distance and push it away, and then sort of hurl it in front of me, and then go at it with my giant glowing axe.
You cut it in half, right? Like there's it's still ambulatory because it can just use the other parts of it. Like when it separates itself out of its own volition, it seems to have no problem. But as you guys are cleaving parts off of it, it's moving slower. It like has to reform itself with the pieces it has left. Like forcibly disconnecting it seems to cause it more damage than willingly disconnecting it does. Like a USB drive that hasn't been properly dismounted.
Okay. All right. If I look up in the direction of the portal, is that still a thing, or did that like implode already?
So we're gonna get back to that later. It doesn't not exist, but it doesn't exist. It's not here, but it doesn't. But it still exists.
Okay, great. I will yell a war cry and start kicking at pieces of the thing as it reforms itself.
I magicked so hard I broke causality?
Yes.
It's just a portal to your god now.
Well, you know when there's like an echo of a thing, and sometimes that echo persists.
Hmm.
There's an echo. Along came an echo.
Echo the spider.
Gosh,
Yes.
do a thing.
Okay. I am going to attempt Witch Bolt.
Which bolt?
Yeah.
Which bolt?
That bolt. That bolt. That bolt.
Which one?
We have processed that humor.
So, d20 plus 1, 9. So I hit the stone wall, I guess.
Okay. I mean, so the thing is kind of like decomposing, right? Oh man, I really wanted that to be more than a 9.
I'm not supposed to have metal armor.
Do you get like a bonus if it does?
Yes, I get
Is-
to. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of my cantrip. Never mind.
I was gonna say, are there like bracelets and wedding rings on hands and things?
No,
Yeah.
it's if I did shocking grasp instead, but I didn't. I did witch bolt.
But you can make another ranged attack next turn.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would use my other spell slot for that though.
But you don't need to because it lasts for a minute. You
I
just
think
need to
it's
make another
I
attack.
think it's if it hits though.
Yeah.
On a hit
Really?
thing, and you can use your action to deal D12 lightning damage.
Yep. But I didn't hit it the first
So
time.
there's a null result on miss.
Yeah. Does only hit you do that and the stuff for the next turn, but
Yeah.
it implies hitting, which is a bummer.
So the thing does not it's already like the component semi-componentized, and it's like you definitely get part of it, but it's a part that already is dead. It's been severed from the whole.
So you're on cleanup.
Keith.
The arrow again.
I cast arrow.
Keith is pretty one note when it comes to killing things because usually she's good at it.
There's a joke here about bows and stabs and something.
9 piercing damage if a 17 hit.
17 hopefully hits.
Yeah. 17 absolutely hits.
Shoot it in the main eye.
Aaron, as a bonus action, don't you get to attack Yorho with that as well?
I feel like if there's anybody that I'm going to attack with it, it would be you.
Why?
I don't know. I
Great.
can't have you impeding. I can't have you, stepping on my turf. I'm the rot person here. Thanks.
Kate, right. Kate is a predator, right? We already determined that she's a huntress, so clearly you're prey in that needs to be eaten.
Well,
Thanks
Yeah,
for
it's like-
saving me. Here you die.
Yeah.
well, I mean, if there's anybody in the party that's going to go down to the predator, right? It's the how the wolves separate the weakest of the herd, and Sinrathi has like 12 total hit points. So
I have 19,
probably-
thank you very much.
okay,
At present, I'm not there, but
So Kate,
Can I use for my extra, instead of moving, can I look around and see if maybe Keith realizes that Sen is fucked up?
I think it's pretty obvious that I'm not moving.
yeah.
screaming and jazz handing silently.
Okay, well, can I run over and do a survival check maybe to see if I can find some way to break whatever the hold is for whatever the hell's happening?
Sure.
19?
So I don't know that this is natural. So like,
Can I call this thing to come into me and leave him alone?
would you definitely? The right. Sinrathi is paralyzed. They are stricken in the spot, not from like a natural source from the environment, but something that you cannot observe. So whatever did this, you'll need to, if it was a creature that did it to Sinrathi, you'll need to figure out, like, you'll need to examine it and figure out how that was possible. If it's not, it's some sort of mystical trap or psychic trap or divine trap. Like it's non-physical in nature. Could be extraplanar. It could just be spooky.
I'm gonna try and talk to Senrathi in deep speech real quick and see if anything happens.
Oh wow! So I just read this really horrific anime, anime, and from deep inside Sinrathi, something responds to.
Leave this one alone and come to me.
Okay, and on that ominous note, we're going to Sinrathi.
That's in deep speech, so nobody understands that, thankfully.
We understand that it's deep speech, though.
Right.
I feel like someone has to hit Keith with a rolled up newspaper. No, he said no deep speech.
Spray bottle.
Or
the spray bottle. Okay.
I mean, Senrathi in Burning Wheel terms would have probably a pretty decent faith stat, so can I pray to my god to fix me?
Sure.
Cool.
I mean, they're right here, right?
Yeah.
We already covered that.
Yeah, since it's close, do I get advantage?
No, it's not that kind of close.
Aw. Fine.
It lives in your heart.
Can I
if I
give
say
myself
yes-
guidance first?
Oh yeah, you can absolutely give yourself guidance.
Okay.
But if I say yes to that question, every time that you fight rot portals, there's going to be like, oh,
Hey.
it's really close.
Yeah, great. I got a natural 1. Boo-doo-doo. The god you were trying to contact cannot come to the phone right now.
Or does the wrong god answer?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, that's even better.
So,
you god who this?
so, like,
Ring, ring, ring.
would Senrathi be able to
Uhas?
tell it's a new god?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
My understanding
like-
of Senrathi's faith is they have very little, like, that's actually known.
they have little what? This actually known?
Like, anything. Like, very little of it is actually known of the faith.
Describe what your god feels like to you. Which is perhaps the strangest phrase I've uttered in a D&D campaign.
Yeah, like, I think, honestly, it's... I don't know that Senrathi gets much in the way of, like, answers, honestly. Like, it's a lot of talking to
When-
God, and then, like...
When you are acting in your god's stead, are you calm and peaceful, or are you fired up and emotional?
I think it depends on what I'm doing. Like, if I'm helping someone, absolutely fired the fuck up. If I'm trying to, like, stalk rot, then it's, like, a leaf on the wind.
Okay.
But your
You
god...
find
Sorry.
in the midst of... Actually, let's go ahead, Zach, you.
But your god does mean things to you, right? Like, you have...
I don't know that I
Sinrathi
have,
Cobb
like...
of these
Hope and
values.
power.
Yes. Okay.
But
Yes.
I don't, like... I think the only affirmation I have that there is actually a higher power helping me is the fact that I have, like, divine magic bullshit. I don't think God's ever been like, yo, go fuck up those people. Like, I honestly think it's, like, a very one-way street. Like, I pray and maybe, like, I feel better, but it's not just, like, I have this, like, burning brand that I have to go investigate or whatever.
Okay.
So, I don't know that, like, if I actually cut an answer from a god, unless it was just, like, felt capital W wrong, like, I wouldn't factually know.
I mean, I was going to phrase it as you connect to something that's cold and distant and still, and then slowly, like, you hear whispers that escalate to a cacophony of screams of millions of different mouths.
Okay, that's probably not my god.
Voices. Right. It's very, like, cold, dark entropy. Yeah. Not.
I do the religious equivalent of hanging up the phone and backing away.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wrong god.
Well, like, save that number so I know never to call them again.
Yeah, leave it in there. Bad god.
Yeah.
Under the context.
Bad god frowning emoji.
But the frowning emoji is just like a tentacled mess.
No, it's the poop emoji or something, but it's bright
it
orange.
Morphs into that though. We started the frowning emoji, and then the emoji like grows fangs, and then horns, and then tentacles.
Yeah.
Toss me a Constitution save.
Oh, good. That's where I'm a Viking. Well, I already rolled my 1 for the turn, so now I can roll my 7.
All right. Yeah, you're still rooted to the spot.
Hooray!
Yay!
Well, I spend my move action not moving and my bonus action not doing anything.
All right. So,
do I get to help now?
do you want to, or do you want to let the horrible evil limb creature go first?
Oh, I forgot. I didn't realize we're still in combat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Does your help come at muzzle velocity?
I only cut it in half. I didn't kill it.
I had other ideas, but I mean, it's the creature's turn, so.
Yeah. It like it kind of like backs up. It's not disengaging, but it collapses in on itself so that it's smaller than it was before when it was all spread out. And like it links eyes with you again, Yorha, and like tries to do the mental flaying thing.
Okay.
I need a Constitution save.
All right. I'm imagining it like collectively climbing up a stalagmite to get to eye level.
Yeah. There's like a beam in the middle of the room that uses to hold up like this. You know, it's like the room is like partially finished in the basement sense of the term, right? There's like stuff built into it for like canning and like shelving and stuff. And it's not, this creature doesn't have like that strong of a it's a weak sauce ability, right? Like your force of personality is greater than its sense of purpose.
Or there's enough holes they just can't find a target.
Right. And it just sort of like reaches out from while it's hanging on the beam into where it's okay, Adam, I can't stop watching that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So it reaches out, it's holding onto the beam, and it kind of reaches out into where the portal was, and you can see like its parts elongate as it just sort of like lets itself be sucked back into where the portal doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, good.
Does that provoke AOs?
Good. So I just like stared it down and it left for its own dimension.
Yeah.
So just happened. Awesome.
So it gets component parts and went home.
I want to stare in contest with some sort of extraplanar rod entity. Into it.
You stared into a compound eye and it blinked.
I stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back and didn't care for what it saw, so it left.
The abyss is all like, you know what? No. All right, so comment's over.
Do I unparalyze?
Nope.
Good.
Okay, do I feel like I'm getting some sort of like alien egg cancer thing?
Are you gonna
No,
let
of course not.
either the bird peck the rod out of you or the dwarf lightning the rod out of you?
I mean,
Both.
I feel like we need to deal with the fact that this thing just disappeared into nowhere because I feel like somebody cast invisibility on the portal. and
Well,
we should.
and it's definitely like a being sucked into like a vacuum cleaner or something. It just goes, it just kind of like gets sucked through.
I will move towards that spot and like stick out my hand and see if I can feel the same suction.
Does it
Your
like
hand doesn't feel anything.
spaghettify? Does it spaghettify like matter does close to a black hole?
Stretch out.
Your hand doesn't. No,
Well, no, but
Does
the rot
the
thing.
thing that went through.
the raw thing did absolutely.
I want to assess Tenrathi's situation with Arcana.
Yeah, we have an issue with our healer who can cleanse the rot having a little bit of the rot inside. Just that's a thing I know, and I'm telling you because we're on the same team.
If you keep saying it, it might be true.
It's
Just-
always been true, Yorha.
Super convincing.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to figure out the magic that's holding Tenrathi in place.
Can I assist in flipping through my husband's book and mentioning several different, I don't know, sources or
Possible
cures or
elements.
something?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d20 again, Fritz, in lieu of advantage.
Nope, the 13 is that.
So it's tough to tell for sure. Like the things that you do know, right? Like you don't get the sense of so I think of the different power sources. Hey, Andrew, I have this over here. So I get the sense of the different power sources as character sheets. Ah, shit, we don't have all that awesome stuff anymore. So you just have Arcana, you've got Nature, and
Nurture.
there's not like Dungeoneering or anything like that anymore, right?
No, I don't think there is actually.
Survival.
Yeah, so this is probably like an affliction in the sense that something caused it, as opposed to something naturally occurring within Sinrathi, right?
So I'm gonna go with the idea that I randomly had because when things don't work, you kind of give them a kick until they do.
So you kick Sinrathi.
No, I want to short circuit my capacitor off my gun into Senrathi to see if I can sort of shock him back into a state of movement.
It's a good plan.
Because that clearly seems like something's holding on to him. Maybe it'll make him release him.
Is he still wearing the Iron Man armor?
I think that just dissolves away at some point.
Oh, see, I was gonna say because that probably has like a built-in defibrillator, right? We could just
Yeah. I don't even know what the spell. Oh, it's up here. Further.
just keep hitting with the shocks until he moves.
Would that be enough armor to trigger my
Yes.
shocking grasp?
I mean, we're not trying to kill him
No.
while he's immobilized and can't do it.
How many hit points you got left, friend?
So after some tinkering around, you give it a shot, and there's a zapping that goes on, and throughout you're able to move again. You're not sure what what the exact nature of the event was. Mechanically speaking, you're not sure that the spell ran off or if the tinkering actually helped, but it was one of the two.
I mean, I'm going to thank Fritz and assume it was that.
Of course.
I'm gonna grab some water. Keep talking.
But yeah, we need to clean up any of those that breathed in the rot.
We also need to figure out what the bloody fuck happened to that portal.
I mean, we're just gonna burn the cave too, right?
Yes, I'm actually probably setting to work doing that.
We should not light fires in the cave while we're in it. That gets thermobaric really, really weird, really fast.
I mean, would Yorha really care?
No, not until we all suffocate, and then I have to wait like 300 years for somebody to find my body. But like, just
They
saying,
decided they want to res it.
yeah. I feel like those with more like book learning probably recognize the fact that oxygen's in limited supply in caves.
No, we
And
probably have like oxygen or cave Urot destruction plan 3C that will put in action.
I just got
Those of you with something
electrocuted
to
to
lose.
I just got electrocuted to shit, so that actually probably smells like ozone in here.
Hey, Mike, can I search around for any like more
Thrones?
intact pieces of the rot, like
Mhm.
chunks or anything?
Why are you hungry?
Of course you can.
Hungry? Why wait? Grab a rot.
I was gonna say
Um,
she's Toucan Sam with rot.
Just follow your rot nose.
I think she's going to look around, and if she finds a chunk, put it in a little jar or something,
Okay.
and stow it away
Alright.
while they're busy.
I walk up to Yorha and tell him, say aw, and cast guidance. Okay. I'm guessing the guidance is actually on me, so I can
That's great.
religious at this. Would anyone
That's a
like
good
to
idea.
help me so I get advantage?
Vashla is helping you with pictures of baby goats. She's
Yeah.
distracting the patient with pictures.
So I'm trying to get
19
her to say,
religions.
"Aw."
Okay, so how many spell slots do you have available?
Several. Sorry, that's also a 23 with the guidance. Or 22.
2. Yeah.
I have 3 first level spells and 2 second level spells.
So this is definitely a serious sort of infection, right? Like it'd be the second tier of curing light wounds, like cure serious wounds or cure critical wounds or whatever it is. And it's a bad one, right? And it's in there deep.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're in the right spot for all this stuff, and like it feels like your hands are being guided. Like you don't actually have to make the decisions for these things yourself. And like you're able to perform like the purification ritual quickly. But the process for Yorha to remove this from themselves is going to be a little bit more invasive and unpleasant than merely vomiting for several hours.
I have a mental
Imagine,
picture
like,
of what it looks like.
I imagine like the inside of Yorha's mouth would look like a shag carpet, but like with weird purple tendrils or something.
Yeah, like I'm imagining like debriding the inside of Yorha's mouth and throat, or like getting in there with a pair of tongs and
No, I
picking
like
stuff
yeah,
out.
it's like with magic, like just fully the forearm goes down the throat and just like pulls out a clump of rot and sin.
But it's like you when you get the hair thing, the thing that looks like the barb thing out of the drain, right? You first pull it up and it's just like this massive just like disgusting smelling stuff. And it like, what was the wave? Are you out? Was that too much? It was too much. Okay, sorry. And yeah, and you successfully derot him.
Okay. And that was 1 second level slot that cost me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
It's over. I'm
I-
sorry, Jordan.
I also wasn't like fully joking when I said and also pulling out some of his sin. So I mean whatever that looks like.
As you cure him, he confesses.
It's just like I don't actually have to be a barbarian. I just like being angry. Whoa, where'd that go?
Sometimes I rage because it feels good.
Yorha's sin is like just a clump of goat bones.
Oh, good.
Oh, she just replaced the goat with another goat.
Nobody noticed.
Mm-hmm. Nobody noticed.
Despite all his rage, he's just an undead knight from another.
Ooh,
It's a
that's
shame your
good one.
mic cut out most of the partway through that.
Yeah.
I think we can put it together through context. Cool. That's all I got. I'll leave rot extermination protocols to our fearless leader.
Are the body parts that comprise this thing? Are they like bleeding like normal body parts?
Oh, God,
Are
no.
they- Okay.
No, I mean they've been not a part of a body for a substantial amount of time.
Okay. Okay. Are they leaking anything? Like when they got cut open, are they just ickering? Are they?
Yeah. There's like old, whatever vitreous tumors or whatever you guys consider all that stuff.
Is there
Yes.
anything around that would identify, like any kind of identifying? I mean, they might not have jewelry, depending on where it came from, but
Right. Yeah. I mean, if this was 200 years later and you had access to like a lab, you'd be able to figure it out in like a couple few days. But without fingerprints and without, the best you're able to go with is like these people went missing.
we'll set the time charges and back out of the cave.
The timed incendiary charges.
Yes.
See, my mind went to like some sort of like time traveler cleanup crew. What's up the time charges?
Um,
Bam.
But come here yesterday and clean up.
This
yeah.
cave is bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Before we
Let's
set
just
the
need
time
the timeline.
charges and make the cave say hostile to our continued existence within it, I really want to inspect that portal that I noped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried and didn't get a whole lot of response, but I'm also not magic.
Like, yeah, can I Arcana at it?
Sure.
Cool.
I can assist.
Hooray.
But in a completely skeptical way that this is clearly has a reasonable explanation.
15.
So yes,
What happened here?
You can-
Yes.
you can Arcana at it. You have successfully arcaned at it. And what you learn is, like the thing was destroyed and it does no longer exist.
Okay.
There is still like, this space remembers what it was like to have that portal here.
Oh, good.
So, in remembering, in this having this like scar here, it is not entirely, it's gone, right? You don't think that the connection is still around, but in having this echo, you've got a scar that remains.
So you said it was
Of this place.
a smaller portal than the average one, right?
Yes.
Is it smaller than a cubic foot?
No, it's just small,
Okay.
like D&D small, not like.
Because I wanted to use mending on it.
Right. Oh, you know what?
Use mending on reality.
That seems appropriately flavorful.
Yeah, just give space time a little spit and polish.
We can combine our powers. I too also know mending.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Is there a roll for that?
I
it's
think it
just a
just
cantrip.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're able to like, you wave over your hand in the other direction, and fix this empty echo from the past. And like, everything in the room kind of like droops down,
Mm-hmm.
like something that was.
Adam, complete the heart.
Aaron, you have to do it.
Oh, okay. I did.
On my monitor, it's Adam. Oh, but for
Oh.
stream, it'll be Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know which side I'm on here.
There we go.
Wasn't even watching the stream.
Heart power.
Oh, so it's this side over here. Okay.
Um,
It's way too long to go away.
all right, yeah. So you're able to hear that echo. But like, this whole place feels damaged, and when you do that, everything feels like, you know what it's like when you discharge static electricity. Everything that was like elevated is now just kind of like dripping down.
Mm-hmm.
That is the effect you get.
Hooray! No, wait, the other thing.
Does his god still, or does Sinrathi's god still feel close?
I mean, you've got that after echo of battle going on here. Like, you know, you've got the endorphins are kicking in from, and like
The
fear
after
effect
hope.
stuff.
Right, afterglow.
I also wanted to mention earlier that Arcane Arsaw are conquered.
Oh god.
I mean, that's good, but at the same time, I'm like, you should think about what you've done.
I'm okay to, you know, pass the spotlight on and think about what I've done quietly.
Can we re-paralyze him?
All right. Who's next?
I mean,
I-
I would be.
Kate was
Yeah.
Kate trying to do something specific with body parts or bits of rot.
I'm just saving them for a rainy day.
Being totally not creepy with the rot pieces of things.
Yeah, you're
Talking
able to
to
Save rat pieces.
scrape up some bits from the walls and the floors and stuff.
I'm sorry, I thought this was a legitimate method to use for tracking the rot in the future. This is a fresh sample that we can keep with us.
I mean,
That I
You're
can keep with me.
You're like the vice cop that carries around a sample of cocaine at all times to compare quality.
Evidence.
Yeah.
So, like,
Comma
Kate
planting.
holds it close to her, and she's like, "Tell me how to follow you."
Show me the way, little creature.
Tell me how.
She just starts chanting, "Show me how, show me how, show me how, show me how."
All right, Fritz, you've got the thermobaric bomb set. Yorha has been derotted. Sinrathi is feels confident in the mending of reality. Does Vashla have anything to do?
You know, I'm probably actually a little shocked that the thing got away because it has the memento from my men.
Yeah.
Should have just given your husband's name. That's what you should get back.
I don't know, I'm probably very frustrated, especially because I never managed to hit it. So that's
Things
just
are
like
wily.
more salt in the wound. I don't know. I'm probably I guess getting ready to head out if that's what we're doing since like the charge is being set.
Mm-hmm.
So not really, just really silent, really solid.
I can know this real quick. Rock creature stole Vashla's sake. Led to Rock World. All right. I mean that's gonna be the main thrust of tonight. Like if there's any like you're able to Kate, you're able to get the rot bits that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You're able the flame bombs go off. And like, you know, there's that Michael Bay shot
I
of
have
like
one quick question.
Mhm.
Since we killed the portal, has Yorha been stumbling around in the dark?
yes. Kate will have to drive them home.
Oh yeah.
We could light a torch this time. Now we don't need to be
Yeah.
stealthy coming in.
Aaron, do you remember you kept the keys to the barbarian?
Hi, my name's Kate. I'll be your pilot today.
Where do we park? Remember where we parked?
She's gonna climb up your back and go boop boop. And
we parked under the raw portal. Dude, where's the raw portal? I mean, we do have a bunch of like energy weapons in the party that probably like produce a glow I can follow out of the cave. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
Yeah, I just got LED strips all through my armor, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. So you leave the cave, and then the thermobaric bombs blow, and there's you get the Michael Bay shot, or like the first one explodes, and like a pickle jar is exploding, and like everything's on fire, and then and then like a barrel explodes, and it's filled with ale, and it goes up and then out, and it goes whoosh, and then there's like a rumbly thunder, and then there's like flush.
There's a whole bunch of like street lamps just for the parallax for no reason.
Right, right, and like there's a lens flare.
Do you have some doves flying off too, or something?
Like fire erupts out of the cave as Fritz dives towards the side of the fire.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's actually like a John Woo gunfight going on above the cave for some reason.
Right. There's the thing where the one person has the gun, the other person has the person's hand, and the other person has their gun in their hand, and they're like falling.
And there's rain, but only in that very localized location.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and like in doing so, like there is the sense of normalcy has kind of like returned, and it's not like it is that particular sense that you get when things have calmed down, and like for the better, but at the same time it's not like good. There are lingering doubts that remain. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this session.
Quick, Mike. End of session XP.
Yeah. Did we learn anything about the world?
We learned that we're level 4 now.
Yeah.
sometimes there's portals that aren't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can be level 4. I'll buy that. How long have you not been level 3? How long have you been level 3? A couple sessions?
Long enough to party.
3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4 sessions.
You come back here and think about what you said. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's a while. Take a level.
Okay. Good job, Adam.
And
You just gotta ask
all
sometimes.
came from end of session experience.
Yeah.
Ooh, ability score.
Did bonds change?
Adam expressed his beliefs, drives, or heritage.
It's true.
And
His
Senrathi
beliefs, driving your gun.
Senrathi addressed challenges through religiosity or divine fire.
Right, which was the tag that you gave him at the beginning of the session.
I feel like Yorha and Kate's bond has changed somehow. I'm not sure in which direction or how exactly.
Yeah.
Also, that
Well, there's
feels at
one
least
now.
like a minor milestone.
All right, I'll go ahead and I'll upgrade the enemy organizations.
Okay.
Hey, so when it says ability score improvement for level up, you put
That's
1
right.
point into 2 different things?
Or
it's 1 into 1.
Or you get 2 points. You get 2 points to put however you want, or
But you can't go over 18, 16.
20?
No, you can hit
I
20.
think yeah.
You're 20?
You can't,
Okay.
You can't start with higher than 18. You can't go over 20.
Right. That's what
That's
it
level
is.
up.
Because normally you can't increase an ability score above 20 using this feature.
Okay, my dexterity is 19 now.
That's pretty gross.
Train.
What's
Yes.
the dexterity of that train?
Yes, I kept reading it earlier.
2?
So thankfully my intelligence will now not be a negative modifier.
Are we doing feats or are we doing are we playing with feats?
Are those a thing?
You can take them in place of ability increases.
If you want to, you can.
They're an optional thing that we opt into. So
Oh.
Yeah, I have opted to allow it.
okay.
Ooh, I get extra attacks.
Cool. Then we should do that offline because I think
Yeah.
D&D character creation is one of the least sexy things we could do on this podcast.
Yeah,
It
we'll
is,
talk
but-
about what we picked next time.
Yeah, so
Yes.
folks, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of that D&D podcast. If you like us, feel free to drop some bits in the bucket, toss us a subscribe. We're right here on Twitch. That's how you're getting us probably. If not, it's on YouTube. You can go find us over Twitch for twitch.tv/DND podcast. Find us on all social medias, wherever fine D&D podcasts are found.
Also, check out, we've got VODs for a few interviews that we've done so far. In February, we interviewed John Harper, Jerry Holkins, wow, I feel like an asshole, Austin Walker,
Adam Coble.
and Adam Coble. I wanted to do them in order, and then I forgot
Oh, gotcha.
names.
Which one was which?
And then just 2 days ago, we interviewed Fraser Simons, who's making Hack the Planet, which is currently on Kickstarter. You should go check that out, or visit Sam Joko Publishing to pick up his previous work called The Veil.
There's more to come.
And we have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/thatdnd podcast. And
Right,
we have
and-
more to come. Do we know who our next interview is?
Do we land up yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
More to
I
come.
haven't
And
scheduled yet. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like I'm
We've got
super excited.
At least 2
February
or
was
3 irons
awesome.
in the fire.
Yeah, and then there's like the special thing that's coming that we can't tell you about, which is exciting.
We're starting
and,
to firm that up, actually.
Right, it's becoming like good tofu.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So y'all, thank you so much.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And have a great night, everybody.
that's right. Be excellent to each other.